Well, we're back in the studio again, and we'll be talking to Catherine Noble about the Alzheimer's Walk. She is the volunteer coordinator for the Crestwood Elementary recruiting, which you'll be talking about, but for all.
For Green Spring.
For Green Spring. I was a little confused on that. And that's a lot to be ahead of.
Well, we have a very active community, a lot of volunteers, and that was a great clip there, and want to thank Channel 6 for coming out on site and doing that, because it shows people who weren't able to go. Gosh, what a great showing we had from Green Spring. We had nearly 70 people that came from Green Spring to attend the walk. So it was really well represented. We had residents, and we had staff members, and we had family members. So it was nice to see everyone, representing Green Spring from all ages. And it was a beautiful day. Great day, and I just want to really thank everyone who did participate, and wanted to thank a lot of the staff members, because this is a lot to coordinate. So everyone coming together, our Brandon in admissions at Garden Ridge, and Stewart and Arzo, they all got together and made a beautiful table that was Green Spring's table, so people at the walk that were not Green Spring people could come up to our table and find out a little more about Green Spring, and it was a very well attended table. So that was really great opportunity for us to get the message out about Green Spring and what we're doing, to find the cure for Alzheimer's. And then we had residents. This is the most residents we've ever had participate in the walk. So wanted to thank them for signing up, and it was just a wonderful day. We also, provided the transportation, because we want to make it as easy as possible for people to get to these off-site activities. So, Renee Budd and Yolanda in programming department at Garden Ridge, they went to great lengths to make sure that, the residents who wanted to attend would have, transportation. Our shuttle went around to each clubhouse to pick up residents and bring them to Reston Town Center, where the walk was held, and then brought them back. So it was really, really a wonderful day.
Yeah.
Our executive director was there. I mean, it was so well attended. So
yeah.
Thank you to everyone.
Well, it's so easy to be transported so easily, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
yeah.
And all for a great cause. So, we all know someone who's, affected by this terrible disease. So it's great that we're all coming together and really working hard to find a cure, and to get education and support out there for those who really need it. If people do have more questions or want to know more about the disease process, or maybe you're caring for a loved one who is challenged with this disease, and maybe you need a little help. So, there's lots of resources here at Green Spring. I would encourage everyone to really just reach out to your social worker. They're a wealth of knowledge, and they really do have a lot of information. That's what's so great about living here at this campus. You can we always have someone who has this information that you can call. Unlike if you were maybe living in, your home in the community, you might feel a little more isolated. So, please encourage everyone, just use these great resources. We're here for you. There's lots and lots of great information. You're not alone.
Yeah, well, I think it was known as dementia in my day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that, and a lot of people don't. I never knew the difference.
Right.
Because we had a lot of dementia in my family.
Mm-hmm.
And so one form or the other, whatever it is,
Right.
It's a lot to look into, and maybe it won't be so bad.
Right. There's lots of help. But, just this weekend was just a really positive, great experience. You saw that clip, and, we'll have pictures around the community about, with people that attended and, represented Green Spring. So, again, just thank you to everyone. We really appreciate it. I also wanted to tell you there is, it's the beginning of the school year, so our Crestwood program that volunteers go out to the community will be starting very shortly. In fact, we have an information session that we're going to hold tomorrow. It's going to be in the town center classroom, and it will be at 2 o'clock in the town center classroom. And maybe you're interested in the program, you want to learn a little more about it, you want to ask a question, we're going to be there to talk about it, to explain what the opportunities are. This is a volunteer program that our volunteers here, our residents here at Green Spring, can sign up for, and we provide transportation to go off campus to a local elementary school, which is called Crestwood. It's about 2 miles away from here, so very, very close. It's an elementary school, so it goes up to 6th grade. And what we do is we do a variety of things. We really match that volunteer with their interest level. I'll explain a few things we did last year, so it might give people oversight of what the program offers. So we have a resident who was part of the program, a volunteer, who is a reading specialist. So what she did was she helped in the library because that was her expertise. So that was a great help to Crestwood. We have volunteers who really preferred working with kindergartners or first graders, the younger students. So we placed them there. And then we had volunteers who really preferred 5th or 6th graders. There's a huge difference between a child in kindergarten and 1st grade and those in 5th and 6th grade. So, your interest level is where we will place you. So there are opportunities to work in all the classrooms of all the grade levels. You work with the teacher, and some people read to the students. Crestwood is a high ESL school, so English as a second language school. So having these young students, these young learners, really hear stories, hear reading, hear the English language more and more, it really helps them, because most of them are learning 2 languages, and that's can be very challenging for a child. So just having those books read constantly is quite helpful. Some people sat with students who maybe needed a little math help. So that was quite helpful as well. We always helped with parties and great fun things like that. That was great. And we really are just kind of work side by side with the teacher in the classroom. The teacher in the classroom guides us to what is needed. Obviously it's a classroom, so it changes kind of each day. You just fall in love with these kids. They're absolutely adorable. One of my favorite times last year was when a student was coming in late. It was a kindergartner or 1st grader, young student was coming in very late to school, and we were coming to help, and the student saw the volunteer and broke away from his mom just to run over real quickly and give this volunteer a big hug, because they had made that connection. So that's what it's all about, that connection. They really look up to us as mentors and helpers. They find it very interesting to have senior citizens come and help. A lot of these students, the school counselor was telling me that they really don't have their grandparents here. Many of their grandparents are in, they're another country. Exactly. So, their exposure to older adults is not, broad. So this really offers them a wonderful experience to kind of get to know the older generation, and it's really very heartwarming to see everyone together doing that. There is also another program at Crestwood if you want to be a mentor. So maybe you don't want to work in the classroom. Maybe that's not what your interest level is. You want to work one-on-one with that student. So the mentor program is a program that places you with a student, pairs you up with a student, and what you do is you talk to them, you form that relationship. These are students that are selected by the counselor that will benefit from that kind of relationship building, for confidence and things like that. You might sit and have lunch with them, or a snack, so it's just building that relationship. So those opportunities are certainly there. And then we also have opportunities, maybe you don't want to work in a classroom, you don't want to work directly with the children, but you want to help. So one of the options is, working in kind of the copy center, helping teachers make all those copies that they need to do, so that they're ready for them. And they can spend, obviously more time with the students, or get home a little earlier if they don't have to do all that. So, we really would like to encourage people to come out tomorrow to the information session. We had a wonderful time. We have a really great group of volunteers who participate in this. Most are coming back this year, but if we're certainly expanding. So come out and learn.
Oh, well, good. It sounds good. And invigorating, I imagine. Yeah,
Very
you
much
learn
so.
a lot from these kids too.
Oh my gosh, you really do. And we also, Crestwood invites us to, some evening activities if we ever want to participate in those. So that's always an opportunity. We had volunteers who actually came with us on once a week we go. Last year we went on Wednesdays. We probably will stick to it on Wednesday. We'll find out what the group prefers, but they invite us to evening activities. And we have volunteers who drive, so they would drive themselves more than the time that we went, throughout the week. And you can do that if you want to go more than just the time that we're going, and you drive and you can get there. They will welcome you.
Well, that sounds great. We're just about out of time. I didn't know how much more you wanted to talk about. Probably a lot, but we can't have it.
Well, I just want to thank everyone for all the volunteer work that they do here on campus. I always say that's what sets us apart. That's what makes us so special, is the companionship, everyone giving back to each other. So continue to volunteer, and we do appreciate it.
Well, thank you, Catherine.
Thank you.
That's very informative, and it sounds interesting. I put 3 kids through Crestwood. I'm
Good.
familiar with it. So, well, no, we didn't have the all the stuff that's going on now, and but that sounds great.
Thank you.
We'll see what we can do. And thank you for coming.
Thank you.